Yeah, that's right. We are tracking other tornadoes, and we'll get into that in just a second. I want to show you a recap of the radar from the storm as it occurred right around 3 o'clock Central Time and then to about 3:36. And you can see the big debris ball. Unfortunately, this tornado was peaking in intensity right as it was crossing over the more heavily populated areas south of Oklahoma City. You can see that big red and magenta ball right there. The reason why there's such a high reflectivity there is because of the debris that is within the tornado as it was crossing 35, and we were seeing some velocity estimates of winds of 200 miles per hour. It wouldn't be surprising to see them even stronger than that. Some of the devastation that occurred there has been just unbelievable. You see cars piled up just onto the side of this is the main entrance to the hospital there in Moore, and cars just pushed up against that main entrance with the incredible velocity of wind that came through there. We saw a number of shots of neighborhoods, some of them right there where many homes have been devastated. There were a couple of streets in particular that we were looking at earlier where it looked like there were several homes, and more than several, maybe a dozen or more, that had been swept clean from their foundations. And I've seen a lot of tornado damage over the years, and the shots that we were looking at earlier were unlike anything I've ever seen. Usually you see maybe a few homes that have been swept off their foundations, and there were some whole streets and a number of them in a row where it looked like the devastation was utter and complete. And if you were not underground in a case like that, I don't see how you could have survived it. So I fear that the death toll is going to be very significant. So right now they're talking about some of the damage there at the medical center at KFOR, and let's go ahead and listen in.
Just about 4 miles south of here, they don't have an ER. So this is an ER hospital. I mean, they deliver babies, they do some surgery, and I mean, it's an all-out hospital. If Travis will back out just a little bit, you'll see right there in the bottom left of the screen, that's a post office. To the left of that is a bank that is completely gone, and an insurance company that used to be there. So this whole area right here was hard hit, and you know, there's a bowling alley right there that's been completely demolished, the AMC bowling alley right there by the Warren. And as Travis will pan up or zoom out and go back right there by the IMAX, the new IMAX edition they added, and see the colors, Travis, if you'll zoom in right there. That's the relief that they're setting up right there, the command post, right there by the IMAX, the new addition to the Warren Theater. It's just on the north side of it. You know, they have some trucks in there trying to move what appears to be some of these power poles that have been laid down. You can see all the debris. The debris, what is striking to me, on top of the roof, they have a roof like we do. It's just a plastic or rubber vinyl roof over, you know, a flat pitch. Well, they've got shingles and stuff on there that came from the neighboring houses. So that John, building, when they put it up, yeah, go ahead.
And John, I know we've got a lot of frantic parents wondering about that rescue effort over at Plaza Tower Elementary. I know you're heading that way.
Yep, we'll be on it here in a second.
Yeah, as soon as you get there, let us know what you're seeing.
Left and straight down, it's right out my door.
While you're moving to that location, John, in listening to the scanners, which I know that you're listening to, have you heard an all-call for rescue workers? We talked to Betsy Randolph with the OHP, Oklahoma Highway Patrol, about 24 minutes ago, according to my notes. And she said responders were having a very difficult time even getting in to the area because I-35, as you had told us before, traffic had been stopped so people couldn't drive into the storm. But then you had traffic backed up for miles with nowhere to go, and now responders can't get through.
Yeah, it's a definite, and when we got gas ago, people asked me they're ready to go home, and they said, hey, how can we get out of here? And I said, well, you might just want to, you know, I know it stinks, you got to stay here tonight, but you're going to clog up the roadway with people that need to get on here. It might not be a bad idea just to stay in place. I-35 at Indian Hills Road on the northbound lane is backed up all the way to 110A, which is going to be the Robinson Street exit there in Norman. So traffic is backed up all the way there. I'm looking back to the north, and I'm not really seeing any traffic on southbound I-35, so they have to be backed up or shut down probably about the I-40 to Dallas Junction. So I don't know if they're sending them down I-44 or other ways, or if maybe they. But again, on these, like on let's see here, on Santa Fe, just south of 4th Street, there's still cars that are blocked up right there, and part of this is from The police did a great job blocking people off when they saw where the damage pad was, and they weren't even letting people continue to climb in there, or to continue to drive in there. So I think part of that's a backlash of that. And now in some of these neighborhoods, people are coming home, they're getting off work, or they left work, and they want to see, the state of their house and, see their belongings and maybe make sure loved ones are still there.
And that's the
so I'm seeing a
school
lot
there.
more cars in what used to be these housing additions.
John,
But
let's focus on
yeah. The Plaza Towers.
Yeah, that elementary school, John, and it looks like they're moving in a bunch of those backboards.
Yeah, that's the. Hang on one second, HE.
Sure, you go right ahead. Now, Lance West is there on the scene. I'm trying to see if we can see him from this vantage point. You can, if you were with us about 11 minutes ago when we talked to Lance, he said that the authorities there, the search and rescue crews, had set up that yellow tape. You see it there at the bottom of the screen. They had cordoned off the area to keep parents and others back. If there were any cries for help from faculty or students believed to be trapped in that rubble. Lance West told us previously that one of the rescuers on the scene indicated 75 children and or faculty could have been in the school when the twister hit. Lance also said that third graders were in a hall where they sought cover, and the third grade class is now the focus of much of this investigation and much of this search right now.
And he also told us that many of the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, we believe, were led out and were okay at a church there. But of course, our concerns right now are for those little ones that may be trapped in there.
And they were let out before the storm hit.
That's
they
what we
were moved to
understand.
another location
That's
before
what
the
we
storm
understand.
hit this school.
Right.
So our concern right now is for the children and faculty who may still be under that rubble. And if we can go back to Lance, and I don't know, Irish Stogner is producing for us right now. She may be able to contact him, and if so, we'd like to know where he is so that we can zoom on him on Chopper 4 to show what his perspective is of that scene, because we've been going to him live.
He's down there somewhere getting information, but again, he may have been moved back, Linda, back beyond those yellow lines there. So he may be just getting information of what they're telling him right now, not getting firsthand stuff. The information relays between different emergency agencies, and that's what sometimes takes so long.
Lance, we're right over the scene right now. Can you describe to us where you are?
Yes, I see Baltimore Chopper 4. It is to the west of me, and I am standing where a whole bunch of folks are gathered. They're bringing out some boards, some stretchers. What looks to be like an all-out effort here momentarily. The National Guard has arrived. I do have reason to believe that they have found some victims. I asked one of the medics if he could confirm. He just put his head down and said, I can't answer that.
Okay. Well,
Lance,
there's so much raw emotion out there right now, and we said earlier, when you actually are on the scene itself, because we've all covered these before, through the prism of television, it's not like it is when you're on the scene and you're seeing the anguish of the parents and of the rescuers and of little ones being pulled out, and it's a very, very tough job. Lance is doing a great job of it right now.
And of course, we're focused right now on Plaza Towers Elementary, but keep in mind that this whole section of Moore is very similar to this. If people were not underground, their chances of surviving this storm were not in their best interests. It was a horrific storm. Mike Morgan says that, in his opinion, it was 3 times more intense than that tornado that struck this same general area May 3rd, 1999. He said this storm was 20 miles long, 2.5 miles wide in terms of the debris ball as it moved through this area. He believes it will probably be designated an F4 or an F5 tornado. And if you look at the damage that we're even seeing from this distance, there's no doubt in your mind that this storm was horrific.
Absolutely. As we continue to look at John's shot there from Bob Moore Chopper 4, Travis Shutton is running the camera for him again tonight, as he was last night. Let's talk to Allie Meyer, who's on the phone. We'll continue to show you the rescue effort here. But Allie is at Eastern and I-240. We're worried about first responders being able to get in, Allie. What are you seeing right now? Are they able to get where they need to go?